Hey, what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. I did a previous video talking about how there's not enough women for men. And so this is basically the flip side to that, because the flip side is true too. And here's how. Now, in the previous video, I talked about how there's only so many women that are ripe. And so really just to fast forward things, because I do the whole female woman logic, let's just say this. Women are ripe. Simple as that. Women are ripe. Females are not. And so it still kind of ties in with the previous video about there's not enough women because there are more females. The females aren't ripe yet. They're still developing. You know what I'm saying? Some have been stunted in their growth, okay? As far as them coming out the ground to receive the sunlight to blossom more, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are still developing, and some have stunted their growth of being a developed plant that is blossoming. So a lot of this can allude to just her makeup per se, as far as her biological makeup, and from the social standpoint, a lot of this can be contributed to her behavior, okay? But of course, just like with plants, you know, the flip side is sometimes that stunted growth of that plant can be due to the planter, okay? So the men represent the planter, okay? So, you know, that's why I say this. There's not enough men for women. There's not enough guys that know how to plant, that know how to truly cultivate, that truly know how to sow righteously into a woman, you know, sow that seed per se. There's only so many men that have this mindset of knowing how to cultivate a plant. You know, I don't believe that it's just entirely done for as far as a man being able to have a certain dynamic with a woman. I don't believe that is totally extinct at this point. Is it on the endangered list? I guess you can say that, but that's not to say obviously that it is extinct. It's just to say that it is rare, but it still occurs. And yours truly is here to let y'all know how this can be so. Look at my channel in particular as more so a time capsule for the next generation that can be like, hey, somebody was able to pass down this knowledge and this wisdom to us as far as how man and woman should be with each other. So here we go. Now, the thing is that, okay, I used to plant roses. I used to plant sunflowers. I used to plant tulips. You know, my thing was I did like this little poem. It was like, of course, the cliche part of it is roses are red, violets are blue. So let me just do it like this because I want y'all to know kind of how I sometimes do plants. This won't be long, so bear with me. It still ties in with what I'm talking about. So, you know, let's say roses are red, violets are blue. Girl, I just want you to know that I love you. Okay, done with that. Now, check this out. Tulips in the spring, roses in the fall. I'm there to help you grow and help you to get through the long haul. There, that's me. Because that's how I used to do it with the plants, though. You know, I knew about the tulips blossoming in the spring and about how the roses blossomed in the fall, you know, and the same thing with sunflowers. I used to have to do sunflowers the same way. I used to have to tend to them. I used to have to plant them in the ground, but I knew exactly what I was doing. And so that's the thing, you know, only so many men know what they are doing in regards to women as far as how he plants that seed. Now, little does one know, whether it's positive or negative, a man is planting the seeds. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. So that's why a man should be very minimal with his interactions amongst the feminine gender. If he's not trying to plant a seed, he don't need to be anywhere around her. So that's my thing. When I'm around a woman, I know why I'm around her, because I want to plant a seed, and I'm a positive man. So I'm going to only plant a positive seed in her. Now it's up to her to take on that seed and blossom, because see, little does she know she's a part of me because I put that seed in her. You know what I'm saying? I put that seed in her. So she's only going to either blossom or she's only going to rot with what I've tried to put in her to blossom with. Okay, and so it goes back to that previous part of my initial video about there's not enough women. You know, you got a lot of females out here who would rather be around the maggots instead of the fertilizer. Now, the woman, she wants to be around the fertilizer. A woman loves the way that I'm fertilizing her. She loves the way that I'm planting her. You know what I'm saying? She loves the way that I'm tending to her. She knows that I don't represent a pesticide type of person as far as, pesticides. That's about, putting chemicals and things like that on a plant. I'm not trying to put any chemicals on a woman. I don't need to do that. That's actually a form of manipulation. To trying to get her to grow a little faster. Because, see, that's the whole idea of what pesticides do. Because in the natural world, you're going to have pests, right? You're going to have pests. But the whole idea of the pesticides is you put that on the plant. It protects the plant from these pests. And it helps it to grow a little bit better because allegedly it's protecting that plant. But the problem with the pesticide is more or less is that it prevents other plants from pollinating onto that plant. So that's the other aspect, as far as a man that knows how to be a good planter of a woman in order for her to blossom properly. I understand the idea that there is certain acts of pollination that must take place. I understand there are certain acts of just doing things naturally without the need of pesticides. So here's what I mean by the pesticide. The pesticide is me being too overbearing with her, just smothering her, trying to have too much control over her. That's the pesticide part. I'm actually making her more toxic when I do that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to keep things natural and organic. No GMOs, y'all. No GMOs. I don't want the woman in my life to be a GMO. That's another video right there, right? Okay. So here's the thing. Since I know that she's going to be exposed to the elements and the things of this world, there's information that she's going to take in that is going to be good for her. But it's obviously based on the way that I'm planting her. So basically information that edifies what I'm already doing for her. She could come back to me and tell me, hey, Ray, I wanted to talk to you about this. I think you'll like this. So it's like that. That's the pollination part that takes place when she's receiving positive information that's edifying everything about me and what I'm doing with her in my vision. You know what I'm saying? And obviously of her being a part of that vision. So it's a beneficial thing. So that's the whole idea of pollination. See, but there's only so many men out here. So therefore, there's only so many men that are actually planting women in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Fertilizing her in the right way. Right? So, and this takes time because young boys got to learn this from righteous men. That's the only way. He's not going to learn it from the streets. All this game talk, you ain't gonna learn it from the streets. Now it's good to learn this game talk per se though, because you gotta realize there are a lot of fake plants out here. There are a lot of things that are wrongfully planted. There are a lot of bad seeds out here, right? So you gotta learn about that. You gotta learn about the ecosystem. So if you wanna look at this from a biological standpoint, fellas, look at game as the same way as the ecosystem. And you can kind of put the two together and you can kind of be like, okay, I can see that some things are out of whack right now. Okay, certain guys talking all this game, they out of whack right now. They game whack. Okay, your game is whack, bro. Sorry. Okay, so the same thing goes in regards to the right type of men around women. You know what I'm saying? It's all about him being a good planter. And I don't even think I got everything out the way that I wanted to get out with this video, but this kind of is just something that's been on my mind because yes, with the fact that there's not a lot of women, there's not a lot of men. So in regards to the women, I summarize by saying that, yeah, women represent being ripe. Women represent the whole idea of something being ripe, and men represent the idea of being a good planter. Let me know what y'all think about that. Signing out.